What's up, world? This is what everybody's sending me today, and they're asking me to pass it on, so I'll pass it on in this capacity. Okay? Oh, wow, look at this. Notifications from my other page come right away. Ain't that something? So, here we go.
Maps of diabetes. The top map is New York City. Everybody's drinking the same drinking water. The darkest areas on the top is Harlem, where the African Americans predominate in the community. And then the Bronx, and is it Queens? I don't know New York City very well. But two other areas where minorities and poor live. Why do they have much higher rates of diabetes than the rest of the affluent part of New York City? The answer is that we discovered after Chernobyl that the state milk boards are taking the most contaminated radioactive milk from dairies near nuclear power plants, and they're shipping that into black inner city communities where it's sold in the mom and pop stores. Look at Africa. In the bottom map, it has the lowest diabetes in the world. So how can diabetes be genetic in blacks if they didn't have it in Africa? It's because U.S. national policy is to genocide the black communities with radiation.
And that was a white lady.
This is from the New York Times. These are maps of diabetes. The top map is New York City. Everybody's drinking the same drinking water. The darkest areas on the top is Harlem, where the African Americans predominate in the community. And then the Bronx, and is it Queens? I don't know New York City very well. But two other areas where minorities and poor live. Why do they have much higher rates of diabetes than the rest of the affluent part of New York City? The answer is that we discovered after Chernobyl that the state milk boards are taking the most contaminated radioactive milk from dairies near nuclear power plants, and they're shipping that into black inner city communities where it's sold in the mom and pop stores. Look at Africa. In the bottom map, it has the lowest diabetes in the world. So how can diabetes be genetic in blacks if they didn't have it in Africa? It's because U.S. national policy is to genocide the black communities with radiation.
Boom.
This is
something I've told you plenty of times before. Watch what you eat. They're also doing it in soda. All you buying that cheap soda from Walmart, throw that stuff out. Faygo, terrible. All that stuff does is has chemicals in there to make you impotent. Well, you got to be careful. Certain waters are messed up. They've damaged the water so much that you can't drink in it, but it's good enough for you to wash your body in. They tell you don't drink it, but you can wash up in it. In order to survive in today's times, you have to watch what you eat. It is very important. More than ever. Whenever you see pink folks start changing up, like we don't even eat meat no more, you better get on board. You better get on board because they know something. The word's been passed out. You seeing all these people go vegan. They're eating at Whole Foods. They're eating at all these different places that you are not at. If this steak is worth $1.99 and that steak is worth $18, and you like, why in the world is that $18 and this $1? I don't get it. They get it. We have too many of our children dying from obesity, diabetes, all these different type of illnesses that are found in food-related products. Why? Because they're going to make money in the process of your elimination. There's money in you being sick. There's money in you paying these people for your health. A lot of people weren't going to the doctor. They make you get health insurance now. They make you pay for it. Before it was an option. Now they like, you gotta get it. You go to the hospital for something, people don't even want to go. They go and diagnose you for everything else. Give you medication that'll make you sick. It might cure your cold, but now your liver don't work. Now you got to take some more pills for the liver to work. And now your kidney messed up because you done took too much. Now you in septic shock. Now you need more medication. Now you need surgery. Now you got more hospital bills. Hospital will keep you in there to run up a bill. How many times you go to the hospital and they give you 85 tests you don't even need? You're like, why am I taking this test? Why are you suggesting I get this test? Well, we need to get this done just to see. Then we're going to get this done just to see. We're going to get this done just to see. And we're going to get this done just to see. Then I'm like, I came in here for my knee. That was the only thing you guys did not do. Was give me an x-ray of my knee. Oh, well, okay, you want the x-ray of the knee? Yeah, that's why I came here. Their job is to run up bills. That's the whole hospital's job. If you got insurance, they want to run up the bills so they can charge your insurance company. Period. And what you guys don't understand is that the world is becoming overpopulated at a very fast rate. Before, this rate was taking small jumps, small jumps, small jumps. This country is getting huge, fast. I'm cooking. Ooh, yeah, that's looking real good. Might give it 2 more minutes. Make sure I get some extra goodies in there. But this is what I'm talking about. No, you think it's China. It's not China at all. I'm talking right here in the United States. Cooking some fish. Get him some milk. He needs some milk. Well, I'm baking it. Get him some milk. He needs some milk. Oh, they finna be upset. Where was I at here? Go to YouTube? No, I don't need to go to YouTube. We're on YouTube. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up here for you. Oh yeah, this is my news report channel here because YouTube don't want me talking about this on my page for some reason. Okay, now here we go. We'll go back to 1980. In 1980, it was 226 million people in the world. Okay? 1981, that jumped up to 229. 82, 231. 83, 233. You see how that's going? Now, from 1990, it started to jump from 249 million people to 253, then 256. It's jumping up by threes. Then by the time you get to 1997 and 98, things start to change. The year 2000, we're at 282 million. Then it goes to 285 million. 287, 290, 292, 295, 298, 301, 304, 306, 309, 311, 314, 316, 318, 320, 323. And now we're at like 326 million. And that's just the United States alone. So there's 323.1 million people in last year living here. Right now we're at 326 living in the United States of America. 326 million people. We're overpopulated. And we're growing by 3 million every year. Not enough people are passing, so they need natural disasters. You're going to need illness, viruses, sickness to keep the poor dying and the rich living. That's called business. Big business. But they feel like that's the only way to maintain the world's population right now. People are not dying fast enough. People are not controlled with how many kids are in the household. So the way they control it is control the wealth. People watch how many kids they have. Back in the 80s and 70s, people used to have 7, 8 kids in a household. It'd be 7, 8 kids, 4 boys, 5 girls, big families. Now the average family is reduced down to 3 or 4. So they cut the families in half. Even Hispanics are not having that many kids anymore. In the United States, the Spanish household families have dropped down to 3 on average, when it used to be 6. Why? Because if you can't afford to have kids, you're more concerned about having kids. Think about it. Anybody in their 30s, anybody in their 40s, your mother's family, look at your mother's family. They probably come from a 7, 8 family. Your mom probably had 4 brothers, 5 sisters. They come from a 9-sibling household. They come from those eras in the 50s and 60s before it was cable TV. Wasn't nothing to do but make babies. Well, your mom was the exception. The rule was people had average families of 7 or better back in the 60s and 70s. You had your family was a gang. They'd be, here come the Schaefers. Here come the Towns family. Here come the Smiths. So Nicole, your mom was the exception. The rule was like 6 to 7. Then when they came out with welfare and reduced revenue, things started to change. You start seeing a lot of single parents now. The male was paid not to be in the household. A lot of split families. Dad ain't home no more. Broken households. And then the next generation became grandma's raising the kids. Because mom too young to take care of the kids. So it became a harder struggle. And if you have broken families, the exception are those few who are able to survive and sustain and not be a product of the neighborhood. The rule is, without a male in the household, to check the aggression into puberty and adulthood, the male grow up pretty much feeling like he could challenge the mom, can't be told what to do, she can't control him anymore. They run rampant, they run wild, and when nobody there to guide them but the streets, that's where they end up, in trouble, jail, prison. And that's the rule. So they expand prisons, and you start looking at how many people are incarcerated that look like you, and that denomination number is very high. People who come from poverty, how many people come from poverty-stricken areas are incarcerated and doing crime. And you look at the population of these prisons, and they keep building them. Why? Because it's an economic system, having an economic prison. The food that is transported to the prison, the labor that they're doing, they're working for like $6 an hour. They actually got jobs in prison where they get paid to make license plates, learn a trade, but they're working slave labor in the prisons. Now you got room and board, you got a place to hang out. Most people become so conditioned and institutionalized, they don't know how to function when they're back on the streets. They like it better in prison because they spent most of their lives back there. So coming out to the world is like, I don't want to be in here, I want to go back inside. It takes years to condition yourself to even go back outside. And sometimes they go outside and they so used to prison mentality, they'll do something to go back to prison. Because to them, prison is not a threat. They know the guys in prison. So for them to go back, they like, what the heck? If I go back, I go back. They have that instilled in their brain. So they become very dangerous outside on the streets. It's one big circle that one thing affects the other. Then you have the warden who makes a deal with the sweetheart company that provides the food because his daughter works over there. His cousin works over there where they deliver the juices and the delivery trucks. So they get the contract to work for that prison. So all the little town, that's why these prisons are in these little hick towns. Because they ran by people who don't nobody even care about or even notice about. And all it is one big business to keep these towns employed. It's big business. I think I browned them a little too much. It's sad because you would have thought by now we figured out the game and figured out how to correct the situation. And saying, okay, we know what they're doing. We gotta fight to stop this mentality from happening. Like stop this whole development from taking place. Instead, we give up, use it as a crutch, find a short-term option like drugs and everything else, and just deal. We just okay with short-term, and that's what they want from you to think. Short-term is gonna lead you dead and in jail. Well, of course I don't smoke. Now I'm about to eat. Smell good. Chat with y'all later. Good talking.